Ryan, ready for a bit of deja vu?
Yeah, it's obviously interesting that playing the same team twice so close, and obviously we're having a draw the other night on Friday night. It makes the game interesting, and it'll be a good game.
It was also quite a fiery encounter. Are you expecting any needle to carry over from that one?
No, I think in the way the Scottish football is, there's always a bit of feistiness between the teams, and I think that's just the manner that the game's played in, and I think it'll be no different on Tuesday night. It'll be a quick game. It'll be played like a cup game, and we're looking forward to it. You
were on the end of a tasty tackle from Ryan Edwards. How did you feel about that? Do you think he should have been sent off?
Yeah, I think it's at the time Willie Collins says to me that he never seen it, and his view was blocked. So it's fair enough as a player. You just get up and you just have to get on with it. And Ryan Edwards came to me after the game and says that there was no malice or intent in the challenge, and we shook hands, and that was the end of it.
What did you learn from that game on Friday night that you can take forward and give yourself confidence into tomorrow's game?
I think we learned that there's during the game we have to always stay fully concentrated. There's no I think we come out, we're comfortable the first half, then we come out the second half and we kind of switch off, and we're not really fully at it, we're not fully aware, and in the end of the day, when you're not fully at it, it doesn't matter how good a team you are, it'll cost you goals. And I think as a team we kind of shot ourselves in the foot by coming out after half time and not being fully switched on. So I think in that sense we can learn that, and I think even the Dundee game was a wee bit of the same. It was we came out at half time and Dundee had a couple of early chances, so I think it shows that we need to make sure that after half time we come out and we're fully switched on.
Can you point your finger as to why that is? Because it was the same obviously at Ross County as well. You had great first half against Dundee, and then again it seems second half you just sort of stagnate a little bit. Can you put your finger on as to why that is? Because you're obviously playing well at the beginning, at the end of the first half, but it's not going through to the second half. Why is?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's a shift in momentum. It's when we are playing really well the first half. I think even in the Thistle game we had 2 or 3 clear chances that if we make the right decisions we probably kill the game, and we probably should kill the game, but we don't. And I think at half time you go in and we're kind of thinking we should put the game to bed, and Thistle are probably thinking the opposite. They're thinking, right, we've got a lifeline here, we've got a chance, we'll go out and we start fresh the second half. So I think in that sense, I think it's, if we don't put teams to bed the first half, we need to learn that at half time it's important that we get together again and make sure we start bright.
Ryan, how much do you feel that this big week could come to define Rangers' season?
I think any week at a club like Rangers it's just equally as important as the other. Every game's a massive game. Every team raises their game for playing against you, and I think looking at tomorrow night, I think it'll be no different. Thistle will have got their point on Friday, and they'll believe that they can come again and get a good result. So we've got to stand up to that and show what we're about.
How big a blow is it to lose your captain for those 2 games?
Yeah, it's a blow to lose any player. It's Lee's such a big player in the changing room, and he's a great leader and a great captain. So obviously for him to be ruled out the next game, it's hard one for him to take, and it's obviously disappointing his players. But I'm sure he'll stay strong. He'll get through it, and as a team we'll try. And I'm sure Declan will be looking at it as a chance for him to come in and do really well.
Yeah, you mentioned him there. How do you feel Declan John did when he came on to replace Lee Wallace on Friday?
Yeah, I thought he'd done perfectly fine. I think Declan says that he hasn't really had a lot of game time, maybe over pre-season and the back end of last season. So I think it was probably the first good amount of minutes that he's had in a good while. So I think he handled it fine, and I'm sure he'll build on that.
And how are you finding life at Rangers after your first few months?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. There's no other way to look at it. I think obviously it's all about results, and it's all about how you're playing on the pitch, and for me I'm just going to come in, work hard every day at my training, and hopefully that will lead us on to good things.
I know you mentioned obviously every week's a big week. You were used to demands of fans up at Aberdeen. How does it compare to when you get down here to Glasgow, and in fact the expectations of Rangers fans?
Yeah, I think the fans since I've came here have been great. I think even on home and away the support's fantastic, and I think you've seen that on Friday night when you go out and you see that stand at Firhill packed out with Rangers fans, and They got right behind us right to the end, so I'm sure come tomorrow night it'll be no different. They'll be turning up in their numbers to do their bit, and I think it's down to us as the players to make sure we get them right behind us and we do our bit.
Obviously you've moved on from the European thing, but do you feel that you owe them a trip to Hampden after the disappointing start to the season?
Yeah, I think it would be. I think when we spoke at the start of the season, it's always about doing as well as you can in every competition, and we see this as a chance to get back to the National Stadium, get to a semi-final and give ourselves a chance of getting to the cup final. And you never know when you get to a cup final whether you can win it or not, but if you give yourself that chance, then that chance is always there.
You feel it's vital also getting into Saturday's game where the demands, the scrutiny will be so high that you do get this Hampden trip sorted out before that?
Yeah, I think Saturday's game will take care of itself. It's such a big game, but I think tomorrow night's where all our focus is going to be on. There's no other way. As a player, you can't be thinking about the next game or the game ahead. It's always about the game that you have to play, and it's a quarter final of the cup, and there's not a bigger game this week than getting this club to semi-final.
Ryan, how does last season's disappointments in these cups spur you on? You know, you've been at Hampden, you know what it takes to be there. Relying on that disappointment, how does that encourage you to push on and perform well in these cup competitions?
Yeah, I think obviously when you always have a disappointment, you always look to try and react and respond in the best possible way, and I think obviously I've came to a new club and I've got a chance to react and respond to get back to the National Stadium, so there's no doubt that personally I want to try and get back to Hampden and do as well as I can, and I'm sure as a team it's what we're aiming to do, and it's what we spoke about at the start of the season.